Welcome to Meganet Gaming, and the game we're going to be covering now is going to be an MMORPG by the name of Fallen Earth. Fallen Earth was initially developed by Icarus Studios, published by K2, and uses the Icarus platform engine. It was initially released September 22nd of 2009. However, it was purchased by another company and is being operated by somebody other than the original. It's now operated and published by Little Orbit. That changed October 12th of 2011. I'm reviewing this game as of 2018 and 19. I entered the game quite late. The population is low. There are some aspects that could be considered pay to win. What I'm going to look at is the core game. How well does the core game hold up to scrutiny? And I'm going to be focusing solely on the PvE content as well, given I haven't done any PvP content. So as an RPG and non-PvP, how does this game hold up? So let me get this game up and running, and we can discuss it from there. As far as the story goes, it does have a rather rich, detailed story, as well as a world that matches pretty well. The game client itself is not well optimized. It's not uncommon to have bugs, crashes, and other issues. It does provide quite a bit of customization options as you level up. You can put the skill points you get as you level up into a variety of areas. So you can focus on melee combat, different types of weapons. There's a lot of different types of crafting you do in the game, etc. As far as all the basics that MMORPG should have, it actually does quite well make sure all those are met. So, entering the world, doing this, just do a low level character and show some low level content, so I'm not spoiling anything for anybody. As far as potential, an MMORPG set in the post-apocalyptic world is an excellent idea. While Fallout 76 didn't seem to ever be intended to be an MMORPG, it does fail as being a successful attempt at bringing Fallout to the multiplayer spectrum. That game also takes up a massive amount of hard drive space, and unnecessarily so. That's odd. I switched to window mode. It doesn't. Yeah, it provides a lot of different graphical options and other options with video and everything, but it's not uncommon for it to crash or hang while you're changing the options. From what I read from before, though, they have fixed a fair amount of bugs. Okay, it should be running in a window. Look at this. There we go, now we're in the game. There's a variety of quests you can do in the game. But yeah, we'll start with the controls. There is first person, or third person. You can change with the mouse wheel. It does have the effect of showing your weapons on your back, which is quite a neat touch. Graphics are, a lot of the objects in the environment are quite detailed for an MMORPG, especially one that's starting to become a bit dated. You have a variety of quests, but many of them are the fetch quest variety, but they at least attempt to tie them back into the story. It does have some voice acting. So yeah, let's go ahead and get out of here. So the quests are above average for an MMORPG. The graphics are acceptable. The fact that it's not very well optimized isn't. You get a horse pretty early on, which is kind of nice. Go ahead and show off the horse a little bit. Animations are acceptable for an MMORPG. So let's show off the world a little bit. It is quite a massive world with a variety of terrain. However, in between towns, there's just a lot of dead area. Yeah, I think it's this direction we're trying to go. You have the variety of different skills that you can put in the hotbar, adding a fair bit of complexity to the game. And also a variety of gear you can craft. Let's show off. They do offer, there are some events in the town as well. What kind of creatures are up here, son? You know, other controls that you just double click the horse to get on, double click the horse to get off. It's quite easy. Tab changes to where you can aim your attacks. Why don't I have my... Come on, what's the deal here? Why am I trying to punch? We're gonna get on the horse and get out of here. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not good. Question is, why didn't I equip my axe? Basic shit. Because I'm not going to be doing too much if I don't have a weapon equipped. It has been a little while since I've played this. So yeah, why don't I have my axe in hand? There we go. You are a clone, and it does tie into the story of how you can keep getting... Oh, hey, it's another player. Let's say hello to this person. I said hello. Oh, they... I actually got a hello back. You know what? That's the first person in like 20 hours of playing this game where I'm trying to talk to people where I actually get a reasonable response. Yeah, it is a fairly dead game. But that's fine. I usually play a lot of MMOs. On a rather... a bit on a solitary basis. Good thing is, if you die, it maps where your horse is, so you don't end up losing the horse. I don't know if there's a way to call it back to you, but the way I see it is that you should have to go track down your horse, so at least there's a penalty. There are vehicles in this game as well. It's not the best handling vehicles, but it's good enough. Let's demonstrate with the chickens how to... So there's a bit of... And when you do certain things, you'll gain knowledge. Right there, I gain knowledge of harvest mammal and bird. And little things like this in an environment like the crash plane to add to immersion. Really, the PvE content for this game isn't bad. Neither is the combat. It's not the best combat. It's definitely not Darkfall level. But it's fun nonetheless. So yeah, let's uh-oh. We just need to get on the horse, get out of here is what we need to do. This thing will leave me alone. Come on, get on the horse. Yeah, I'm gonna have to... There we go. Come on, there we go. So yeah, we're going to do this quest. Quite a bit of... Says that's where I need to go. Getting off the horse, we're going to fight. I always like doing melee characters, 'cause I like the up close and personal combat. And in this game, well, it could have a... It does feel a bit weak. It's still good enough. If I wanted to, I could slaughter my own horse, which would be kind of stupid to do, but at least it leaves that possibility. It says right here there should be something. Quest. What am I missing? Oh. Yeah, I should read what the quest is about. Uh-oh. I need to watch my life bar. Four people in the game right now. 4. I think there's a... There's actually a button I can press to call my horse. So yeah, you have some environmental objects like this. So as far as an MMO goes, it has all the basics that you need for an MMO, including there's a story, there's a setting that makes sense. Canyon lizard. It's hostile. Does it get stuck behind the rock? Yes, it does. AI is definitely not the best I've ever seen in a game. You get a lot of creatures will follow you for a while, as they should. Variety of items to collect. This stuff's quite rough for my level on this character. I'm not going to finish this quest. I'm going to go ahead and log off. And then go ahead and give this game a review. Currently, as far as MMO goes, I was doing a lot on Asheron's, calling the emulation servers. Didn't really like the direction a lot of the communities were going. Either the servers were getting kind of dead, population, or most people went to a server that's trying to base the game on the Asheron's call as it was when it closed, which was a game that was full of people multi-boxing. You had people with a dozen accounts completing quests designed for a group because they didn't really want to do the quest with a group, or it was just not feasible. There just weren't enough people around to do some of the quests in a group. I've done all the content on there. I was running quests on there. Same with Star Wars Galaxies. I've maxed out character for buffs. I haven't maxed out combat person, pistolier. Got bored with that one. Same thing with Darkfall as well. Got bored with that one. So it's right now I'm switching back and forth between WoW Classic, playing it for the first time, and then Ultima Online. And I have Anarchy Online and War of the Rings Online on my list of MMOs to try to get the max level in before they close. Fallen Earth goes into you have the top tier MMOs, which are your Asheron's Call, your World of Warcrafts, your Ultima Online's, EverQuest, Darkfall. I put in that because its quality, even if it doesn't have that big of a population. Dark Age of Camelot, even though that's not a game that I haven't really played all that much. We have games at the top tier MMOs where people are going to invest a lot of time, including myself. I'm more likely to sink time into those than the next tier, I guess you could call them the second tier MMOs. The MMOs that are good, but the time investment is so great that it's just barely worth it when you could be playing something better. And that tier I put games like Fallen Earth, you have Pirates of the Burning Sea, Uncharted Waters Online. Games that still have enough of the classic MMO feel to be fun, but they're just lacking in certain areas where it's not quite worth the time investment. And then you have the modern MMOs that are heavily story-based that play more like single-player games like your Star Trek Online or your Elder Scrolls Online that I don't really play much at all unless I'm highly invested in the game's lore. But yeah, Fallen Earth, it's a quality game. The underlying game itself is a very good game. The problem is it lacks the population it needs. And it lacks the right. It's lacking both a population as well as a revenue model to truly be successful and to be worth the time investment I'd need to get a set of characters for me and my wife up and running on there at max level. But as an all-around game, it might not look as impressive as Fallout 76 when it was running well, but it's a much better game overall than Fallout 76. It does have some balance issues, but making the combat so it's based on aiming instead of just your standard tab targeting combat, having quests, including when you come back to life, there's a lore reason why you can be brought back to life, and that's because you're a clone. They save your DNA in the LifeNet server or collection base or whatever it is, and then they regenerate you as a new clone based on the same DNA. I love games that take the time to have a lore reason for why you can respawn, because in real life, if you're killed, you wouldn't get a chance to go back there with a penalty or no penalty. So just taking the time to have a lore reason for a lot of things like death, I'm definitely impressed with. It's a game this is a game I'd love to really get a couple different types of characters set up in at max level before it closes, which at some point in the next few years it's more than likely going to close. As far as where I'm going to rate this game, it's a tricky one. A lot of times with an MMO, it's the community that makes the game more so than the game being all that impressive. With this game, there's enough here. If it were a single player game and you took out some of the grindy elements, it would be a very good single player game. Not top tier, but it would be an acceptable RPG. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the B range. As far as where I'm going to put it, I think I'm going to put it right in the middle of the Bs. Right below Outlaws, right above Blades of Steel. It's a game where there's a lot of potential there with the story, the combat style, a lot of the detail they put in the environment. The potential is there to have a top tier MMO that could be very popular. I think that involves scrapping the engine to a degree and just probably closing down this and just starting over with a completely new franchise. I don't know if you'd even want to call it Fallen Earth 2, considering the reputation of Fallen Earth is rather tarnished. Like I said, it is a very good game. If you don't mind an MMORPG with a low population, and you're looking for a PvE experience, as far as a PvE experience, it is quite good. Hope you enjoyed the review. Please like, subscribe, and have a great day.